Our studios in New York, here is Stone Phillips.
Good evening. From Black Beauty to Seabiscuit, horses have long had a special place in the human heart and Hollywood. Now, a coalition of animal lovers and movie stars are fighting to save thousands of horses who could soon be facing death. It has all the makings of a Hollywood movie, except a happy ending. Here's Keith Morrison.
This one is called Missy. Missy is part of a giant secret. Or if not exactly a secret, then an uncomfortable fact. Thousands upon thousands of Missies, used to make a drug for humans, are suddenly in danger of becoming horse meat. Why? One phrase: hormone replacement therapy, or HRT. For half a century, the pharmaceutical giant Wyeth has been marketing HRT under the name Premarin, which, since it was FDA approved back in 1942, has been considered almost a miracle drug. It has also been incredibly profitable. As recently as 2001, annual revenue from Premarin was more than $2 billion. 9 million women relied on it to relieve the symptoms of menopause. And where did this wonder drug come from? The urine of pregnant horses. Wyeth signed contracts with hundreds of farmers, most of them in Western Canada, to breed tens of thousands of horses every year. The result of all those pregnancies? Lots and lots and lots of foals, baby horses. For years, the way the mothers of these animals were used in the production of Premarin has infuriated animal activists. Pregnant mares confined in narrow stalls for more than 20 hours a day for 5 months at a stretch, all the while strapped to cumbersome urine collection devices. The USDA has called the industry a model of self-regulation, but opponents say it's cruel, inhumane.
That, to me, is nothing short of torture. It's subtle torture, but it's still torture.
Dr. Ray Kelasami is a gynecologist and horse advocate.
Horses evolved through millennia in wide open spaces. They're not animals that should be subjugated to factory farming conditions.
And what of the foals, the byproduct of these Premarin farms? They are usually sent to auction, along with those mothers whose production has waned. They can be bought for recreational use, or, as often happens, purchased by what are called killer buyers, who send them to feedlots to be fattened up for slaughter. Horse meat sells well in Europe and Japan. That is how it's been for half a century, perhaps 1 million horses giving their lives for Premarin. But then, in July 2002, a completely unexpected announcement changed everything.
Menopause, the decision about whether to take hormone replacement medicine seems to be getting harder all the time.
A portion of the Women's Health Initiative tested the effectiveness and safety of hormone replacement therapy. That portion of the study was halted when the women taking Premarin-type medication were found to be suffering from higher rates of heart attack, blood clots, breast cancer, and dementia. Independent of that, Wyeth began marketing a lower dose version of Premarin-type drugs. The demand for Premarin products dropped dramatically. By the end of 2003, Wyeth canceled the contracts of more than half the Premarin farmers.
The amount of horses needed went from 40,000 to 20,000 overnight.
With the stroke of a pen, thousands of once productive horses became a huge drain on the ranchers' time and effort.
These are pregnant horses now, and the only place that they're going is towards feedlots and from there to slaughter.
The drug company is taking steps to help, despite the immense losses it's incurred as a result of the decline in the sale of Premarin-type drugs. Wyeth has set up a $3.7 million trust fund to help transport the horses to recreational auctions and to equine rescues like this one, and also to help compensate farmers for agreeing to keep their horses or find new homes for them, rather than accept the immediate cash they could earn by sending the horses off to slaughter instead.
If we look at 3.7 or whatever million, it's a drop in the bucket. They have chosen to do the minimum.
They might say $3.7 million is not exactly minimum. You know, they're throwing a fair amount of money at this problem.
But let's put that into perspective. Wyeth has been making billions from this industry.
Wyeth declined an on-camera interview, but in a statement told Dateline it is committed to the care and treatment of the horses, and says it has acted quickly and responsibly to ease the transition for the affected ranches and their animals, providing increased funding and assistance to help ranchers have a broader access to other productive markets for their horses, including professional ranches, riding stables, and show programs.
By the time of this
But Dr. Kalasami says that simply isn't realistic.
There's no homes for that many.
So what's the solution?
The solution so far has been slaughter.
There are those, I'm sure, who would say, come on, these horses were bred for a purpose, to provide medicine for humans that we at least thought was what they needed. And it's like a cow or any other animal. We often kill them and eat them. That's what we do with animals.
Yes, and the one difference is that horses are thought of as being an in-between between livestock animals and domestic animals, second only to dogs and cats in the minds of most of the population.
There's good, guys. There we go.
Helen Meredith agrees.
Why don't we go
She
down
has
to
been
the
working
middle?
for years to find homes for Premarin horses and their foals.
This mare here, she is one of the foals that we brought down from Canada.
It's an expensive process, buying one truckload of Premarin horses at a time, bringing them down to be adopted. And she says she is never, ever able to save enough of them.
You never say to yourself, I've saved 50 horses. You always say you had to leave 50 behind.
So, with the help of some of her Hollywood friends like Richard Gere and Stockard Channing, she's trying to raise awareness about how many horses are at risk.
Because everybody I have ever mentioned this to goes, they say, what are you talking about? It's not like, oh yeah, I heard about that. They literally don't know.
It's why she helps Helen Meredith raise money to adopt the horses.
It's so hard to think that they're all just going to go to a feedlot, be fattened up, and shipped for slaughter. I mean, they were just a total waste, just a byproduct of an industry. Come on, girls.
But it's Wyeth that's paying the lion's share of transporting these horses across the border from Canada to Helen's ranch. And Missy, what of her? There's a girl, 10 years old, named Beth Lowitz, who worked at 4-H fairs to save money, and just in time, had enough to adopt. And Missy won't have to know what she missed.
If you'd like to learn more about these horses, visit our website. The address is dateline.msnbc.com.